Hey everyone. So today I'm just gonna talk about some random things that I've also encountered last night. So I thought about Thinknoodles some recent videos and that he doesn't say noodle on anymore, which kinda sucks. It kinda sucks. Because thankfully he doesn't have a ridiculous intro and outro where there's like music blasting and, well, let's just say it was annoying. I'm just glad that he doesn't have that ridiculous intro and outro music. And that he has a new outro that seems a lot better. A lot better. And it's cute. But he doesn't sing Noodle On anymore, which really sucks. It's almost like he lost his creative side or his normacy of who he once was, and he's just playing these random, mostly horror games and reacting to stuff for his fans and not really being himself anymore. It sucks. It really sucks. During recent years, I can safely say that I've calmed down. He's still a nice guy. And I do not want to hurt his feelings, but if he and I actually talked to each other, like I would actually talk to him, I would say all of the stuff that I would want to say to him. Some good, some bad, and some that he needs to be aware of. No, really, he needs to be aware of it. Because it's been bothering me ever since some things happened during 2018. It really bothers me. It bothered me a lot. And sometimes it still does. Anyway. But, I can safely say that Justin's content has just been getting weirder and weirder and weirder and maybe even worse than like a year ago or so. And now it's just this and that and all that kind of stuff, mostly horror games. And when the games that he's not playing are horror related, it's sort of a relief, but at the same time, it's still not enough. I'm sorry, but I just can't with him. Why can't I just talk to him? Why? Why can't he just talk to me? Why can't I just talk to him? Anything. Sure, he's 47 and an adult and probably busy with his own life, but why can't he just have a moment to talk to someone? Talk to me about his problems, about who he is as a person. Anything. Especially since today being the year 2025 now, and it's still January, and there's only 10 days left until Donald Trump is president in office, and 9 days left until TikTok is banned, or at least might be. I've just been on the receiving end of not wanting to care about these things, especially due to TikTok, YouTube, DeviantArt, Twitter, any app. It seems that people are just toxic about certain things, like involving political stuff, quote unquote. involving people of color, people of sexuality, people of gender, whatever. Just why? Why do you care so much about this? It's not like the fucking world is gonna end. Get yourself together. Especially if those people do not do their research or like watch interviews, videos online about these certain people playing these certain characters. And, you know, I don't know what's wrong with them. I really don't know what's wrong with people just being idiots. That's all I'll say. They're idiots. I have already mentioned a couple of times before that I made a video about my feelings regarding fictional characters that are changed to different genders and different ethnicities, and I'm okay with them. Okay? It's not a problem. And it doesn't harm anyone. It's a different version of that character. It doesn't erase the other versions of that same character. This is just a different version, a different ethnicity, a different motivation, and probably a different personality, but it's still the same character. Anyway. So, you know how, I thought of the character of Mary Schmidt and think that her eyes are, like, completely dark black. Well, black is basically another name for the specific shade of dark brown, mostly due to eye color. And you know what? I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about that. I mean, yes, by a realistic standpoint, that makes sense. That absolutely makes a lot of sense. And okay, I completely forgot what I was gonna say. I'm still waiting on certain stuff to be happening, specifically on my phone. Still waiting. It'll take some time. But you know what? Mostly I'm a patient person. I can deal with it. Just like how I would deal with Donald Trump being president. Because he's an absolute dictator. Anyway. So, I've been thinking about, I've been slowly continuing the Maya and Ludwig Wattpad story that I made, and, I'm also focusing on the Richard Chew story. Yep, just a lot of things. And I have also, I thought about this for a while, at least, a video game concept inspired by Puppet Combo's Nun Massacre, where it's about Richard Hayes inviting his friend Amy over for some tea. However, he just wants to kill her. Yeah. Going through a mental breakdown. You know, I watched the Nun Massacre Story explained video by Gamersalt. And I feel like since people have said that Mrs. McDonald actually abused Janie herself and took on the persona of the Mother Apollonia to abuse her daughter in order her to fear and believe in God, but it didn't work, and Janie killed herself. And I would feel like Mrs. McDonald would not sexually abuse her child, because what kind of mother would do that? Like, why? That's just gross. That's just nasty. That's hurtful. That's really disgusting. So, and what I've seen from the Nun Massacre maps behind the scenes is that I'm pretty sure that Janie's body is still on the bed. The bed is covered in blood, and there's flies around it. And the Bongo the Clown doll is in the room, of course. And I'm pretty sure that since Janie's dead and not buried, I'm thinking Janie probably killed herself, not by hanging, but something else. Don't ask. And her body is just in her room. There's flies around her body, and Mrs. McDonald does not want to go in there because she knows about what she did to her daughter, and her daughter died. And I think the reason why Mrs. McDonald sees the notes, sees the nun, and the notes about Janie's experience at the school and Mrs. Mother Apollonia abusing her, it was just part of Mrs. McDonald's imagination. It's almost like she exaggerated the entire thing in her head and just saw these notes of Janie being abused to hell by the mother. So, yeah, that's my interpretation of it, combined with Mrs. McDonald taking on the persona of Mother Apollonia and abusing her child in her own house. But then again, in like the novel, Sharon or Jane McDonald went to the preparatory school during the 50s and went through a psychotic breakdown and killed everyone in the school, and it caused the school to be abandoned. So I'm guessing, combined with the story from the book, that Sharon McDonald, a religious fanatic, went crazy, took on the persona of Mother Apollonia, and abused her child. And when Janie died, Mrs. McDonald killed herself. And was in a purgatory where she went to the school and where it was completely exaggerated to seem that her daughter was being abused, especially sexually, by Mrs. Mother Apollonia in the school. And, the nun being a interpretation of Mrs. McDonald's imagination, her sins, and Janie's soul. Yeah. Bye.